loves, so today I am back in 2015 with a new video. I know I haven't posted in a while, but literally I've posted every single week a video and I hated the way they all came out, so I've literally just haven't uploaded anything because I've been so picky lately. I did upload this video last night and the camera setting, I accidentally had my ISO setting way too high, so you literally couldn't see anything. It was way too bright. It was so frustrating because I was like, yes, finally a video that I feel comfortable with, and then when I went to edit, I was like, oh my gosh, my face is completely whited out. I know a couple of you guys saw it. You guys left comments down below saying to fix my lighting, and it was my camera, so I'm really sorry about that, but I really wanted to get this video out, so I deleted it because I couldn't take it, and I decided to just refilm it. I do apologize about that, and I apologize for the lack of videos, but literally playing with this new camera, I've been filming and then I don't like it, so I don't post it. Today I thought that I would film how to even up your complexion and kind of color correct any pimples, cover up those acne, cover up those dark circles without getting too cakey. Lately I have been breaking out so bad lately. I think it is due to like stress or something because my skin has just been crazy. I did used to like get pimples and then my skin stops, and then it kind of just goes up and down throughout the years, and it is kind of happening right now. I'm just getting breakouts. So on days when I want my face to look more presentable, I do have to put more effort than what I used to, and I do take some extra time to make sure my foundation goes on smoother and how to cover up those darker spots. So I figured that this would be helpful to a lot of those of you out there who don't want perfectly flawless skin, but you want to fake it till you make it. So this is a routine that will give you that face without looking like you have cake on and you're just putting on frosting. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video. Thank all of you guys who have subscribed so far. I did hit 8,000. I'm literally just so thankful, so beyond thankful for all of you guys. So if you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I love you all. I hope you all enjoy this video and pray that it comes out good so I can finally upload it. I'm talking way too much, so let's get started. Now the first step to achieving a flawless foundation look is definitely exfoliating. So if you want your foundation to go on super smooth, I would definitely recommend exfoliating. Whether you're using a face brush or a facial scrub, just definitely I recommend to take off that extra layer of dead skin, and it will allow your foundation to go on super smoothly. I don't recommend exfoliating every single day because that can actually be bad for your skin, but if you do want your foundation to go on super smooth that day and it's a special occasion, then exfoliating will make a huge difference. The next step is to moisturize. Guys, I can't stress this enough. You have no idea how many people I talk to with oily skin that don't moisturize, and I'm like cringing because I'm like, your foundation will not go on smooth if you don't moisturize. Not only that, but your skin will overproduce oils. Even if you are oily, if you don't moisturize, your skin will overproduce those oils because they're not there, and then it'll make you more oily, and then you'll break out even more. Because every time you wash your face, you sort of dry it out, so you need to re-put those oils back in, so that way your skin doesn't produce more and break you out further. I just moisturize my face. I like using the Lancome Ben Fay Multivital Moisturizer. I also used to use the Cetaphil moisturizer. It's really great, and I used to use like the Target brand acne fighting moisturizer. Honestly, any moisturizer works as long as you moisturize. When you moisturize, you definitely want to press it into your skin so that it just soaks in and dries fast, so that way you're not waiting for hours for it to soak into your skin. The next step when you want to achieve a flawless complexion is really important, and it is to prime. I always used to skip this step. I never used to be a big believer in primers, but now that my skin has been pretty bumpy and reacting bad, I've had to prime it so that way my foundation will glide on over. I like mixing the Neutrogena Shine Control and the Benefit Professional. The Neutrogena Shine Control basically helps control the oils on my face. If you're not oily, you can skip this one, but I can't use the Professional without this one. It just really helps control all the oils on my face, so that way when I apply the Benefit Professional, it won't slide everywhere. And this one helps kind of just fill in my pores, and it helps the foundation glide on over my pimples. So if you are breaking out and you want your foundation to go on smooth, I would definitely recommend a primer like this. The L'Oreal Miracle Blur is very similar to this, and you can use that as well. You can find that at the drugstore. But like I said, this is just awesome for allowing the foundation to go on over your pores rather than cling to them, because when I don't prime, that's what happened. They just I'm going to start with the Neutrogena Shine Control, and I'm just going to press that into my skin. The cool thing about this primer is that it does have a blue hue to it, so it does kind of help with some of the redness and taking it away. I just want to press this into all the areas that you normally get the most oily, so I usually just apply it to my cheeks right here, on my nose because I definitely get oily there, my forehead right here, and my chin. And this literally just helps my oils not eat through my foundation. So right over the top of that, I'm going to put the Benefit Professional. The really awesome thing about this primer is that it has a sort of tan hue to it. So this also helps with kind of the redness, and it kind of helps even it out your skin tone before you apply your foundation, so it allows you to put less foundation. And you want to do the same thing. You want to make sure to really press it where you see those big pores or over any pimples, so that way it'll just smooth over. I also like really pressing it into my nose because I do get a lot of blackheads there. So anywhere where I get a lot of pores, blackheads, pimples, I make sure to put it. That way my foundation will glide right on over and won't cling to any of those deep pores or pimples or anything like that. Next, I'm going to go in with my Sonia Kashuk Camouflage Concealer Quad, and this stuff is amazing. I'm going to take this green shade right here to cover up any redness or pimples on my face. I'm just going to spot correct them, so that way it will allow me to use less foundation. So by doing your concealer first, it will just let you do one layer of foundation, because you're covering up all the areas that you want covering. Rather than putting on 3 layers of foundation to cover up the same 3 spots that you're trying to hide, it's good just to go in with the concealer first, and that way you'll only need 1 layer of a light layer of foundation, 1 light layer of foundation. So I'm going to take this green shade here with my Sephora Pro Concealer brush. This green is going to help counteract the red. So any red spots that you have, if you put a green concealer over, it's literally just going to cancel out that red and color correct it, so that way your complexion appears to be nice and even. It will look a little bit funky at first, but once you apply your foundation over, it will look really good, I promise you. Big pimple I have here, I'm just lightly going to color correct it. Now, while we are on the topic of color correcting, I'm going to color correct these dark circles under my eyes. So I'm going to start by taking my NYX Dark Circle Concealer. This has a really nice peachy hue to it, so it will help counteract the blue undertones under my eye. So you want to kind of go in with a more redder peachy concealer under your eyes, and then for the rest of your face, if you have dark spots, you want to use a green. Try to keep the green away from your under eyes because it will bring forth those blue hues. Also, with a concealer like this, any peachy or reddish concealer, a lot of women with deeper skin tones tend to get darkness right around this mouth area, and it's the same sort of idea for that as you would with your pimples. If you get a lot of darkness in that area, first color correct it with a peachy concealer. So before you apply your foundation, color correct it with a shade sort of like this, or a really red deep peachy shade, and it will help color correct that, so that way you won't have to apply as much foundation over it. So the same way you apply the green concealer over the pimples, you would apply that to any darkness that you have, and then you would apply your foundation, and it will seriously allow you to use so much less foundation, and it will literally give you the most flawless complexion. So now that we've evened out everything and spot treated all those areas, it is finally time for foundation. So I'm going to be using the NARS Sheer Glow today. I've heard seriously so many good things about this foundation, and I heard that it's really good for oily skin. It won't break you out. It's oil free, but it does have a nice like satin natural finish, so it's not super glowy. I have been using this for a short amount of time, and so far I've been liking it. I've seriously been on the search for a foundation that's not going to break me out, because seriously everything seems to be breaking me out lately, but so far this has been wonderful. So I'm going to pour about this much on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to bump that on my face with a damp beauty blender. If you don't have a beauty blender, I would definitely recommend trying the Real Techniques one. I've tried a lot of other dupes, and I promise you they're nothing like the actual beauty blender, but this one is seriously the most similar. It's just as bouncy, and if you are looking to try out the beauty blender but you don't want to fork over as much of the money, definitely try this one. It's $6.99 and is the only one that is remotely similar to it. They are a tiny bit different. The beauty blender just gives me a slight bit more of a flawless finish, but I'm telling you, this is so much closer. And if I probably would have found this first, I probably would have just stuck with this instead of the beauty blender, because for the price difference, I mean, I could deal with the slightest difference. But the awesome thing about using a damp sponge is that it won't allow your makeup to go on cakey, so it really just gives you a really nice natural finish. I'm going to start by putting this on the areas that I want the most coverage. Now this foundation actually matches my skin, my face skin, but it's too light compared to the rest of my body, but that's okay because I will be bronzing and stuff. And plus, I honestly don't like going too dark with my foundations anymore, just because I feel like it will go it goes a little too muddy sometimes when I go too dark and try to match it to my body. So I would definitely recommend just sticking with your natural face shade unless it's way too light, and then just bronzing. That way you don't start looking too muddy or too fake. And that's also another key to making your complexion look flawless without looking like you're wearing a crap ton of makeup. Once I've applied my first layer foundation, I'm just going to go ahead and take any excess foundation in the cap or anything left on the back of my hand. And I'm going to spot correct some pimples that are still showing through, like this one right here. And you can go ahead and just go over any other areas that you might want some more coverage with a small brush and just spot correct it. Do not go in with another layer of foundation because it will start looking cakey. So just spot correct the areas that you missed out on. So once I've applied my base, the next step to a flawless face is definitely to highlight the center points of your face. If highlighting isn't something you're into, then you can definitely skip out of the set and then just set your foundation. But I am a sucker for a great highlight. Two concealers that I've been using the most lately to highlight are the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer in the shade Custard and then the Fit Me Concealer in the shade 10. I love mixing these two together. The NARS Radiant Cream just kind of helps with some more coverage. It's very full coverage and it's really thick. And the Fit Me just kind of helps make everything a little bit more natural finish. Although this is supposed to be a very creamy concealer and radiant, it is actually quite drying and kind of a matte finish. So by mixing them together, it literally gives you like the perfect concealer application. I'm going to start off by striping the Fit Me concealer along my face. So right here, I would just do like a couple stripes. Then in between those stripes, I'll go in with my NARS Radiant Cream Concealer and I'll just stripe this. And to blend out my concealer, I really like using the Beauty Blender as well, just because it gives me a really nice natural finish. I also like using the Sigma F86 Kabuki. Some days I'll use my Sephora Pro Concealer brush and also my MAC 188. I love using any of these brushes on days when I'm too lazy or I forget to dampen my Beauty Blender. I'm gonna do the same thing I did when I applied my foundation, just bump this on my skin like this. And then as I get closer to this inner part of my eye, I'm gonna blend in the concealer inward. I know a lot of people tend to blend it out. You wanna blend it in, that way the concealer won't settle in any fine lines. It'll make it super smooth. So definitely do that, and I promise you, you'll thank me later and your concealer will not crease as much on you. To set my foundation and concealer, I'll be using my Laura Mercier Invisible Loose Setting Powder. This is in the shade Universal. You can use any translucent powder. I just happen to really like this one because it is talc free, but the drugstore does sell a ton of talc free loose powders. I know NYX has one. I know LA Girl Pro, they have a loose powder that is talc free. And basically talc is something that's found in a lot of different powders that tend to clog your pores and can break you out further. So by using this powder, it kind of, I don't have to worry about that, and it sets my foundation in place so that it won't move all day. So if you have oily skin, setting your foundation and concealer is a must. If you find that your concealer creases a lot, setting is a must. This is definitely a key step. I also really like this powder because it's really fine, so it doesn't go on looking cakey at all. I know after foundation, concealer, and all that, adding a thick powder on top will definitely make it look cakey. So you definitely want to go in with a very fine translucent powder. So I just tap some into the cap like that. I take a dry sponge. I happen to have my Real Techniques one right here. And I just lightly dab it in there. By applying it with a sponge, it just allows you to use less product. And it allows you to press it more into your skin, so it gives you a more nice, natural, stuck to your skin finish. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did when I put on my concealer. I'm gonna bump it inwards, so that way it won't settle into those fine lines. With whatever's left over in the cap, I just take my Sigma F25 tapered face brush, lightly swirl it, and then I just dust that to the outer perimeters of my face. I'm going to quickly show you how I sort of bronze up my face and add blush Even though it's not a part of the foundation, it is a part of my face routine, so I thought that I would include it in here anyway. To contour my face, I do use the Anastasia contour kit, and I really like it for the shade Fawn. I do see this kit way too often. I wish I had something different to show you guys that you don't see all the time. I wish I didn't like this shade, but I do, and I like this palette. It's a good one, and it is a little bit worth the hype, especially for this shade right here, because it does blend out super smoothly, and I just really like this for an everyday contour because it doesn't have too many red undertones. It's a very nice, just like neutral brown that doesn't look too muddy on the face. Next, for my blush, I have been loving the Makeup Geek blush in the shade Spellbound. This is seriously like the perfect everyday blush. It literally goes on super creamy and nice and really natural on the skin. It looks literally like a natural flush of color on your face. I also really like this blush because it is talc free, so it doesn't react badly with my skin like everything else seems to. So I'm just gonna take my Sigma F40 angled brush to apply this all over my cheeks. So that is pretty much it for my base. Now I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup, and so this is the final result on how to achieve a flawless looking complexion, how to even up your skin tone and color correct any spots on your face while still not getting too cakey. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys found it helpful. If you did find it helpful and you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, please. It really helps just get my videos out there. Don't forget to share it, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like it and want to see more videos. So I hope that you all have an amazing day, and I will see you all next time. Also, don't forget to leave comments down below on any suggestions of future videos that you guys want to see. And that's all. Bye.